Today on Judge Faith, blood is thicker than water, or is it?
I have 3 boys.
I am the oldest.
I'm not understanding any of this at all, that my son's not even wanting to pay me back.
She's trying to extort me for money.
Yeah, he has borrowed money from me numerous times. I spent over $10,000 on his wedding.
She took all the food and alcohol and said, go up to Gibson Ranch and we're gonna have it up there. I can't make all my family and guests leave because on her account because that's what she wants and that's what she expected.
Tell me the conversation, how much she gave you, what were the circumstances?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Marilyn Beaver loaned her son $7,500 so that he could buy a motorcycle. He has not paid her a dime. She is suing for the unpaid loan. She is accompanied in court today by her best friend, Patricia Coniglio. Defendant Jason Colombo says the money was a gift from his mother, and he is countersuing for a wrecked Harley, stolen alcohol and food, a keyed car, and harassment.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, in this case, we have Beaver versus Colombo.
Thank you, Barbara. Marilyn Beaver.
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Jason Colombo.
Yes.
For $7,500 for a loan you say he failed to repay you.
Correct.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $7,500 for a wrecked Harley motorcycle, stolen alcohol and food, a keyed car, and harassment?
Yes, I am.
Why don't we start with you, Ms. Beaver? Give me some background. Tell me what's going on here.
Okay, at the end of June, I received a workman comp settlement for, I was injured on the job where I worked at. Anyways, I received $57,000 at the end of June. At the beginning of July, my son Jason came over and asked me if I would please loan him $7,500. He wanted to buy a motorcycle. I said, okay, fine, as long as you're gonna be paying me right back, Jason, because I really need this money. One Friday evening, he had called me up that afternoon and said, Mom, I've got this motorcycle that I think I want. We both looked at the motorcycle that he was wanting to buy at that time. I ended up giving him the $2,500 that evening and we told the gentleman that I couldn't get the other $5,000 to him until Monday. So they said fine, they would hold the bike for him and everything, and I went and we both departed and went back home. Okay,
Did you get any of this in writing, ma'am?
No, that was my son. I didn't think I needed to have a promissory note. He's
saying that you didn't give him $7,500, and then he's saying the money that you did give him was a gift.
No, it wasn't. It never was a gift from the start.
Let's back up for a second. How many children do you have?
I have 3 boys. 3.
Are you the oldest, or where do you fall in line?
I am the oldest.
Okay.
They're 5 years apart.
What's been your relationship with your son prior to this case?
It has been, it's not a distant relationship, but then it is a distant relationship. I'm not understanding any of this at all, that my son's not even wanting to pay me back, because I don't push the issue. He has borrowed money from me numerous times.
What do you say about what she said, about her raising you and giving you everything? She gave you too much.
She was never around. I have a rap sheet right here if you'd like to take a look at that and see. She never raised us. My grandparents raised us.
How old are you?
I'm 34 years old.
What do you mean she was never around?
Would you like to take a look at her rap sheet?
Are you saying she was in prison? Mm-hmm. May I see the rap sheet?
I was in prison from 97 to 99. I had a gun in my home.
Why don't you take a look at that?
And I was on probation. And that's irrelevant, really. I mean, for a year and a half that I was in prison, I mean, I'm no longer that way.
Ma'am, you have a conviction from this year.
No, that's...
I really don't think any child should have to be around that. That's why she is doing this, because I have a child of my own, and I will not let her be around this, because I am not going to put my child in the danger that I have been in all my life.
Okay. That conviction's not mine. It's my sister used my name, and so her name's on my rap sheet.
Ma'am, what's going on? I'm looking at a very lengthy rap sheet dating back to the mid-90s. You have at least 5 felony convictions.
correct. I was kind of a violent person, but I mean, yes.
And what's really going on here?
I can tell you what's going on. She's trying to extort me for money, and I am not intimidated, and I will not be. That's what she does. You can ask anybody.
Your Honor,
Anyone
if
in
I
my
could show
family,
you...
my family is afraid to step forward because they will not go against her because she will slash tires, key cars, or do whatever.
That's a lie.
Have you ever been arrested?
I've never been arrested.
Do you have a criminal record?
I do not have a criminal record.
What do you think about what he says when he says you were never around and that they were in danger?
It hurts my feelings. It hurts my feelings beyond that he's saying something like that. I give to my son. To all three of them, I won't deny. To all three of them, I give to them.
What's your relationship like with your other two sons?
They're the same. I mean, at Christmas and Thanksgiving, when I have dinner, Jason and his family never shows up. Never. Not once. Not once has my son been to a Thanksgiving or Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter. Nothing. Nothing. He don't participate in any family functions.
And why do you
with
think
me.
that is, ma'am?
Because his wife doesn't really care for me that much, I guess, and so therefore they just don't come over. The only time that Jason comes over is when he wants money.
And you're saying the other sons come over?
Yes, they do.
Do you have a drug problem?
No.
You used to?
Oh, I've taken drugs in the past, yes.
No, did you, ma'am?
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
looking at this
yes,
rap
I'm
sheet,
saying
and this
yes.
rap sheet screams to me someone who has been an addict.
Once.
Did your mother have a drug problem? What was the drug of choice?
Methamphetamine.
Is that true? How many years were you on meth?
I was on it probably 8 years. How long have I been off of it? I've been off it since '97.
So you've been sober since
Yes, I
1997? Drugs and alcohol?
I drink occasionally. Yes, no, not that much, but occasionally, yes, I do drink.
Coming up on Judge Faith, Jason says his mother threatened to burn his house down.
Your father pressed charges against you?
No, no.
If he had to press charges
No,
against her, she will slash tires, key cars, or do whatever.
That's a lie.
And claim to set houses on fire. I have a voicemail saying it.
Can we hear it?
Did you threaten to burn his house to the ground?
Plaintiff Marilyn Beaver loaned her son $7,500 so that he could buy a motorcycle. He has not paid her a dime. She is suing for the unpaid loan. Defendant Jason Colombo says the money was a gift from his mother. He's countersuing for a wrecked Harley, stolen alcohol and food, a keyed car, and harassment.
You have a voicemail on your phone saying
Yeah, I'd
what?
like to hear it.
Ma'am, stop talking to him. Don't talk to each other. What's on the voicemail?
That if I do not give her money or return a bike by Thursday, I will come home with nothing. My house will be burnt to the ground.
Did you threaten to burn his house to the ground?
No, I didn't.
So you're saying that's not on the that's on the voicemail on your phone?
I have the voicemail.
You're saying you never said that, ma'am.
No, I did not say I would burn his house down, never.
She
No.
said I would come home with nothing.
What did you say in the message?
I couldn't tell you exactly what I said. That was so long. I mean, that was well over a month and a half ago.
Just bring it to me.
Yeah, go
Just press. Go ahead and listen. It's going.
This is your other, the one you threw a buck at, you know? I've had it with you. I don't give a about you anymore. And let me tell you something. What happened in that driveway today is just the beginning. If you do not bring me that motorcycle by Thursday, and you better bring it in one piece, buddy, because you know what? You'll have nothing at all left. Do you understand that?
So what do you mean by that? You'll have nothing at all left.
We had agreed at one point that, okay, Jason, because I'm asking Jason, if you can't get the loan, then then maybe we should think about selling the bike, because I told you I really needed
Stop.
the money.
What do you say happened here, sir? I want to hear your side of this money she says she gave you.
This money was a gift. This was
How
to
much?
pay
Tell
back.
me the conversation. How much she gave you? What were the
She
circumstances?
only gave me a few $1,000s from her hand to mine.
$3,000 exactly.
Yep.
Okay.
From her hand to mine. It was a gift.
What was the conversation? Tell me what you said. Tell me what she said.
She was going to give all her kids money to make up for what she had done in the past. She told me she was giving all her kids money to make up for what she had done in the past, basically trying to buy her way back into my life.
What do you have to say, ma'am? I understand you brought a witness with you today.
Yes, I
Miss Coniglio, would you stand up, please?
Yes.
How do you know the plaintiff?
Friends, just
Okay.
acquaintances.
Do you
friends,
have any
whatever.
personal knowledge that relates to this loan?
I just was
gift, as
witness to the amount of money that she had given him in the Walmart parking lot.
How much do you say she give him?
$2,500.
$2,500.
Yeah.
How long have you been friends with her?
How long have we been friends? 10, 11 years or so.
Okay. How did you meet?
Actually, at one time we were married to the same person. Her son Joey is the same age as my son, and he would come to visit the dad, and that's how we became acquainted.
And is that how the two of you met?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. You're countersuing, sir, for stolen food and alcohol. What is that about?
Correct. We had a wedding at my grandfather's house,
Whose wedding?
mine and my wife's. When we were having the wedding, she had an altercation with
When
my...
was this, sir?
2006,
Oh, 2006. Okay, I
This
just
is
need
a
to know the
while
year.
ago.
So
Yeah,
2006.
This has been a while ago, yeah. This is a long
Okay.
time. She took all the food and alcohol and said, go up to Gibson Ranch and we're gonna have it up there. I can't make all my family and guests leave because, on her account because that's what she wants and that's what she expected.
Did you do that, ma'am?
I purchased everything, yes, and Jason agreed to go ahead and go down to Gibson Ranch, so I took the food and alcohol down to Gibson Ranch.
You by
because-
yourself packed up the food and alcohol at his wedding reception and
my
took it
wife's
to another
no,
location?
No, not all of it, no. They all helped. We agreed upon moving the wedding reception down to Gibson Ranch because the altercation that happened between my brother, sister, and I, yes. We agreed that we would take it down to Gibson Ranch.
And what was that
Jason
altercation
helped.
about?
It was my brother and sister.
Because so far I've heard your grandfather has sued you.
No, the grandfather did not sue me. My father did not sue me. No, he didn't.
He had to press charges
No,
against
He
her.
pressed charges against you, ma'am.
Okay, the charges were dismissed.
Your father pressed charges
No.
against you?
No.
Coming up, sparks fly when the truth comes out.
So you threw rocks at her
To tell her to get off my fence.
It wasn't a rock. It was a brick.
because he's saying you're lying and you're not credible.
I'm not
and your
lying.
history is an example of that.
My history of fighting someone and then having a gun
No,
in my
I'm
home.
not saying
Okay,
that.
Thank you very much.
Plaintiff Marilyn Beaver says she loaned her son $7,500 to buy a motorcycle, and now he won't pay. Defendant Jason Colombo is countersuing his mother for a wrecked Harley, stolen alcohol and food, a keyed car, and harassment.
You were arrested because your father made a complaint against you, yes or no?
No, not against me. My father made a complaint against somebody forging his name on a property deed.
So you had no involvement in that?
No, I had none. And it was dismissed. We're here for $7,500, I thought.
This is his counterclaim.
Okay. Well, you haven't even asked me for any of my...
Please let me see those text messages. Barbara, would you hand me the text messages?
When I went over to collect my money, he started throwing rocks at me. Okay? So that is why...
Did you throw rocks at her?
Went like this to tell her to get off my fence.
So you threw
No.
rocks at
Rocks
her?
being thrown.
It wasn't a rock, it was a brick. Picked up a brick. I went and ran over by the van that he was driving at the time.
Not even a
thinking
brick,
that
it was
he
like a piece
wouldn't
of
throw
bark.
it, but he threw it anyways. So my friend starts yelling at me, telling me to get in the car, and it's like, no, I want the motorcycle now, right? But irregardless, ever since that day, I haven't spoke to him again. I have not went back over there. I decided that, yes, maybe I should just take it to court.
All I'm seeing here is $40.
As I stated when we first came in.
Let me
is-
finish.
no,
$40
I felt-
until Friday, $50. I mean, I don't know what that's for. That could be for anything. He could be just
Okay.
giving you
Gas.
$40.
Food for her other grandkids that she was taking care of at the time. Anything. She would just call and say, I need some money because I need some help. It's like, okay, you had $50,000. What
I
happened?
mean, you have to understand when you
Okay.
come into court, there's a burden of proof. You have
And
to
I
prove to
stated
me.
from the very beginning that, no, I did not make him sign a promissory note
And
because
that's
it's
a
my son
problem.
and I didn't think that I had to. Okay,
And
I
that's
didn't
a
think my
problem.
son would do this to me, okay? I really didn't. And about all my past, I don't understand what any of that has to do with the $7,500 that he borrowed.
Because he's saying you're lying and you're not credible.
I'm not
and your
lying.
history is an example of that. That's what his
My
argument
history
is.
of fighting someone and then having a gun
No,
in my home.
I'm not
Okay,
saying that. I'm
thank you
saying
very
that's
much.
his argument. I mean, honestly, I see what you've been dealing with.
And my wife, she can't come. She doesn't even know I have another baby on the way. That is not to be known to her because I don't want my family around her. I'm not going to have her around. I'm not going to be intimidated, and I'm not going to be extorted. I am.
Let me say something, and I know you're her friend and you're here to support her, but I'm just going to talk about what I've looked at. The years, the number of arrests from the time you were 11, 12 years old through your teenage years, I wouldn't wish that on any child.
That's why I don't let my kids go around. I'm not going to let them endure that.
I wasn't finished hearing evidence in this case, but I think that your mother sensed, or she thought, that it wasn't going to go well for her. And so probably like most other things she's done in her life, she bailed.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
I think you thought coming in here, waving your mother's criminal history and criminal record around, that I would automatically discount everything she said. That's not true. I actually wanted to hear her side of the story, but she finished the case for me. All that aside, here's what I think. There's something about this motorcycle. I think you had a conversation about the motorcycle, but I don't know what the conversation was because she walked out. But she absolutely lied about her testimony when she said that someone else used her ID and that's how she has a criminal conviction from this year. That's ridiculous. So once she said that, I was absolutely skeptical about everything else she said when she testified. So now I'm just gonna focus on you and the issues that I have before me. Most people with the kind of childhood and the kind of upbringing you had, being exposed to what I think you were exposed to, growing up with a mother with this kind of rap sheet, there are two paths that they go down. And a lot of them, because of their environment and because of what they've had to deal with, they go down the same path that their parent went down, that their mother went down.
What's happening with my brother now?
And you chose to go down a different path, sir. Wherever you got that strength from, wherever you learned that from, whatever, you had a choice. And you made the choice to go down the right path. And for that, I commend you.
Thank you very much.
Because until I see, I can't imagine, until I see someone, people don't understand, they have relationships with their parents, with their mothers, and we take it for granted until I see someone like that. Growing up and having her with this life as my mother, I can't imagine.
It's hard to.
And I can only imagine how you feel. I heard the voicemail and the things she said to you. I can only imagine how you feel being brought to court. And after all of this that you've been through, being sued by your mother, it is very clear to me the only thing she cares about is money.
That is all that she cares about.
As for your counterclaim, you know, the law is still the law, and it's clear to me that some of these things you've countersued for, it's probably just retaliation because she sued you. The pain and suffering I think you've been through can't be quantified by a dollar amount.
Okay.
But I am going to give you what you're asking for, sir, which is $1,000.
Thank you
Judgment in your favor for $1,000, and I wish you the best. Good luck.
Plaintiff Eric Bauua says he trusted his former employer, who scammed him out of money and left him homeless. He's suing for a down payment and unpaid wages. He's accompanied in court today by Joyce Whitley. Defendant Eric McElroy says he started to see red flags the first week after he hired his former employee, and then it only got worse until he was forced to fire him. He's accompanied in court today by Heather Pape.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Bauua versus McElroy.
Thank you, Juan. Eric Bauua?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Eric McElroy,
Yes, Your Honor.
for $5,020 you say he owes you for back wages and a down payment on a truck you say you purchased from him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll start from the beginning, sir. Why don't you tell me, and I read both of your papers, and I know you both submitted a fair amount of evidence. I've reviewed all of it, but I want to get the background story from both of you. How did you end up working for Mr. McElroy, sir?
Your Honor, I used to work in the same company that he's a manager, and I traveled to Africa last year in August. So when I was there, and the manager then in charge called my former boss and told him that he want to work with me. So when I returned back from Ghana, he want me to work for him. So when I returned back, I went to the place, and he told me to come work for him, and I said, no, I want to do the delivery that I'm doing.
Before you left for Ghana, what kind of work were you doing?
I was deliver mattress, doing delivery.
Mattress delivery services, okay. And that wasn't for the defendant, that was for someone else?
Yes, please.
And so when you were in Ghana, that person who you were working for called you and asked you to come back and work for them?
Yes,
and
please.
you didn't want to?
Yes, please.
And so you somehow got involved with the defendant. Tell me about that.
I spoke with him, and he said now he's a manager, because before he used to do the same thing that we were doing. So he said he's a manager now for the delivery service. And he said, the boss said he should give me a contract. So he's going to give me a contract.
What month and year was that?
It was October.
October of
last
2014?
Year. Yes, please.
Is that how you remember this happening?
No. The person that he's speaking of came to me and said that, hey, he wanted to work for the company, he wanted a contract. I told him that he can come and talk to me about a contract, but there was not a contract that was promised to him.
Okay, but he came to talk to you, and what happened?
He came and talked to me and told me that he wanted to do deliveries and that he would work for another contractor, but if he couldn't work for another contractor, he wanted to purchase a truck.
So he comes to you, and he's asking you for a job.
Correct.
At that point.
Correct.
And what does he say to you?
He told me that he took care of his wife and kids in New York, and that he had an apartment here, and he was about to get evicted from his apartment, and would I please hire him, that he really needed a job. So I told him that he could start to, because I had never seen him work before. I know that he did deliveries, but I've never seen him on a truck.
So did he tell you at that point that he was in desperate need of money, that he didn't have any money, so he really needed a job?
Yes.
That's your recollection of the conversation?
Yes.
Okay, and so what do you say to him at that point?
I told him that I'd like to see how he works and what his work ethic was, whether he would show up on time.
And you're in Georgia, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what exactly do you hire him to do? What are the employment terms or the contractor terms?
Well, there's two different ones. If you're an employee, you can work for any contractor that you want to.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm talking specifically about the plaintiff.
I spoke with him about being either a regular employee for another contractor, and then that's when he asked me if he could be a contractor. So that's when I asked him.
An independent contractor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so was that the agreement?
I didn't agree to anything.
You hired him, right?
Right, but it was not in October.
Okay, when did you hire him?
It was around November.
What was the agreement when you hired him in November in terms of what type of work he would do and how he would be paid?
He got hired as a contractor on a preliminary basis, a probation period, and I told him, I said, if you do well and you show up and you come into work and you have your worker, I said, do you have a driver's license? He didn't have a driver's license. I told him that normally when you get hired as a contractor, you have to have a driver's license. I said, but if you can provide another person to drive your truck for you, I'll be nice and I'll go ahead and I'll give you the probationary period of being a contractor. So it was supposed to be $35 a stop, and he got hired in as a contractor, but not with a permanent contract.
But he's hired $35.
Yes.
A stop, and he works for you for how long? What date to what date?
It was from November. He worked for a couple months.
From November what?
I'd say till the end of January, February, something like that.
Okay. Did he submit invoices to you with the number of stops he made?
Well, they keep their own records, but we have records. We go by the manifest. So whatever the manifest says, that's what we pay. You can get docked for stops that the company, I'm just the management. So if the parent company docks you, I don't have anything to do with that. If you don't fill out the paperwork correctly, or if you're late to a delivery, you can say that you had 70 stops, but if the manifest, all of them total 50, that's what they get paid. So they pay me, and then I pay the contractors.
Okay, and who is in charge of keeping this manifest?
The company is.
Okay. And so do you have the manifest for the 2 months you say he worked for your company?
No, I keep my own records, but the manifest stays with the company, not with the management
company. Okay, you don't have a
but the
copy of
parent
that?
company.
No. Okay, how did you know how much to pay him?
You go to the filing cabinet where they keep them on file, which is open to the contractors and to myself and to their employees, and then they go and it has the dates on them.
No, I'm asking you though. You paid him a sum of money, right?
I go look in the files, and I pull all the, actually, Heather being the office manager, she would go look in the files, pull all the manifests. It'll show who was working that day, what truck it was, and then that's how we keep records of that.
Okay, and so from November to December, you have records of how many stops he made based on this manifest.
Yes.
Do you have a copy of that with you?
Well, I don't have copies of each day because it would be, you know, a whole stack of manifests, but I do have a sheet where I've tallied what stops he made.
Coming up on Judge Faith, did unrealistic expectations make this business arrangement impossible?
You're saying he made 84 stops?
Yes.
And you say you made how many stops, sir?
123 stops.
Plaintiff Eric Baua says he thought his former employer was a good guy until he refused to pay him and repossessed his truck. He's suing for a down payment and unpaid wages. Defendant Eric McElroy says he doesn't owe any money because his former employee defaulted on their agreement and he was forced to take back his truck.
You issued him a check. I want to see your records on how you decided what to pay him. You've explained to me that there's a manifest. On that manifest is documented the number of stops that he made. You already told me he makes $35 a stop.
Right.
So I want to see the manifest and the number of stops he made.
I can't take copies of the manifest because it has people's personal information on it, their address, their names. That's against company policy. They wouldn't let. If I went in there and I asked them to take copies of it. You just told me that
it was open to him,
you can go look at it, but you can't make copies
go.
of it. I can't make copies of it and take it out of the building and I can get fired. So I'm not going to do something that I can get fired for. I keep my own separate records.
Are you the accountant in the company?
I'm not the accountant. I'm the office manager, yes.
Okay, can you stand up, please? What do you have to say, ma'am?
The company provides us with a pay sheet, and I compare that to the records that I have kept. So, for example, I know that 84 stops were run. I double check and make sure we were paid for those 84 stops before we pay the contractor.
You're saying he made 84 stops?
Yes.
And you say you made how many stops, sir?
123 stops.
Why should I take your word over his?
All I'm telling you is I have what I'm allowed to have. That's all I can say.
You submit all of your invoices to Mr. McElroy for payment?
Yes,
You
Your
don't
Honor.
submit your invoices to the company that keeps this manifest for payment. You submit it to Mr. McElroy,
I submit to Mr. McElroy,
Okay.
Your Honor.
So you say he starts working for you in November?
He didn't start right away as a contractor. He was floating between people's trucks because he didn't have money. He came to me and asked me for, he wants to stand over there and act like he's really doing something. He begged me for gas money. He didn't have enough money to even to buy the whole truck. I was nice enough to even let him give me a down payment for the truck.
Wow.
He didn't have insurance. I carried insurance on the truck for like 2 or 3 months because he couldn't even go to get insurance. His employee that he was supposed to pay came to me and said, "Oh, Eric hasn't paid me yet." And I said, "Well, why hasn't Eric paid you?" Eric came to me and asked me if I could change the name on his check because he owed his bank money.
Stop. You're getting way ahead here. You say he worked for you. I'm sorry?
Go ahead, I'm listening, I'm sorry.
I need you to understand something. You see what this says up here? You see this?
Yes.
It says Judge Faith Jenkins.
Yes.
When you walk through these doors, I run this. I don't need your permission to speak in my own courtroom.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you again, slow your roll. I do not like your attitude, but I'm going to get to the bottom of the legal issues in this case so you can go back to Georgia and run your company in Georgia.
Okay.
Coming up on Judge Faith, did bad decisions derail his delivery dream?
He's supposed to be making payments on this truck to pay the truck off. That's the agreement, right?
Yes.
You don't even give him a chance to make a payment before you take the truck back, but you keep $3,000?
No, I did give him a chance to make the payments.
No, you didn't.
Plaintiff Eric Baua says his former employer stole his money and took his truck. He's suing for a down payment and unpaid wages. Defendant Eric McElroy says he doesn't owe anything because his former employee defaulted on their agreement.
Okay, tell me about this $3,000 you're suing for the truck.
Your Honor, when he told me he's going to give me a contract, he asked me if I have a truck, and I said no, but I'm about to buy one from somebody that works there. And
you need a truck to make these deliveries?
Yes, please. And Your Honor, he said, "Oh, that man truck is not working. It's not working. But I have a truck that if you buy the truck and use it," and I say, "How much you selling it?" And he asked me how much the man is selling his truck. And I said $5,000. But the man said if I give him $3,000 for down payment, the rest, he will give me a time to pay it until I finish paying it.
What time period?
It was November, but the man said when I put $3,000 down payment, he will let me use the truck when I start working as a contractor.
You have a truck that he's buying from you, correct?
Yes.
You give him $3,000 down payment, is that correct?
Yes.
What's the total agreed price that you'll pay?
$6,000 that he said I'm
buying
going to
it from
pay.
you personally or from the company?
Personally, but it wasn't for $6,000.
Okay, what do you say the price was?
It was $9,500.
And do you have anything in writing?
I didn't put anything in writing with him.
Okay, so, but he did give you $3,000. We do know
Yes.
that much.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not denying that.
How much are you supposed to pay for the truck? The remainder of the payments?
He said, I keep on asking him how much you're going to break it down. And he said, wait until you start working.
Did you say to him, in terms of making payments on the
I
truck?
told him he would make monthly payments, and I said, can you handle monthly payments of $600? And he said yes.
Okay, and when were those payments
That was from
supposed
the
to
very.
start?
They were supposed to start from the very beginning.
What's
So
the very beginning?
From we'll just say January.
Okay, so January 2015, because he just starts working at the end of December.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
He told me, after he took the money, he said, the truck that I'm giving you is not working. The kingpin is not working. So you have to fix it. And I said, how much for the kingpin? He said, not less than $400. You won't spend less than that. So I went and bought a kingpin and let somebody fix it. The person that was going to fix the truck, when he heard my name, Eric, he said he's not fixing it. And I said, why? He said, because the other Eric that owns the truck, I'm charging him for the kingpin $500 to fix. He said he's not doing it. So I want to know if it's you, Eric, or him, Eric. And I say, it's me. So the guy fixed the truck and charged me $500 that he is aware. And when he sold me the truck, he didn't tell me that the air condition and the heat is not working.
Well, see, that's why you need to get things in writing, because when you sell a truck to someone, it's as is by default. It's an as is sale. So who has the truck now?
He has it, Your Honor.
Okay, how did you end up getting this truck?
I took the truck because the kingpins that he's talking about.
When did you
told
take the
him
truck?
It was like the first week of February.
First week of February.
Right.
Oh, did you give him his $3,000 back?
No, because it's non-refundable deposit. He didn't pay me any money for payments. He didn't pay me any money.
Sir, you just told me you sold the truck to him in January. You say you took it back at the beginning of February.
What I'm saying.
What payment is he supposed to make? I'm telling you what you just told me. The beginning of January, you sold him the truck. The first week of February, you take it back. I want to know why you didn't give him the $3,000 back.
I didn't give him his money back because he owes me money. That's why I didn't give him the money back.
What does he owe you money for, sir?
I had repairs done to the truck. He ran the truck, him and his driver, his driver ran the truck over a curb, flattened the tire.
I'm sorry, it's his truck.
But I paid for the initial repairs. If it wasn't for me paying for the initial repairs, the truck wouldn't even have moved.
You sold a truck to him. He's supposed to be making payments on this truck to pay the truck off. That's the agreement, right?
Right.
Yes.
You don't even give him a chance to make a payment before you take the truck back, but you keep $3,000?
No, I did give him a chance to make the payments.
No, you didn't.
He owed me, it's not just the payment of the truck, Your Honor.
What do you have to say, ma'am? What do you have to say?
This is not true. This is not true. Eric actually had the truck for less than 10 days. He started working on the 30th of December, and this guy took the truck back on the 8th of January.
If that's the case, then how did he get such a big paycheck then if he only had the truck for 10 days?
You can see where the stops were written, and then he went back to work on the 13th for this guy in the truck.
Frankly, it doesn't matter if it was 10 days or if it was the first week of February. If you sell him, if he gives you a down payment of $3,000 and he's giving you that down payment as a part of an agreement that he's going to buy this truck from you and make monthly payments. When you took that truck back, within a few weeks, you breached that agreement. It's his truck. If there are repairs that need to be made on the truck, it's his responsibility to make them. He's buying the truck from you. I don't agree with these truck deals where you put a down payment and you have to keep paying people money for the truck because you're acting like it's still your truck when it wasn't.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No. No, you breached the agreement. You said in your answer he missed 2 to 3 months of making payments to you, and under the time frame you have given me in court today, the plaintiff didn't have the truck but 4 to 5 weeks at most.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Let me see the check you paid him in January. You paid him once, right? In January?
Yes.
Okay. How much was that check for?
It was for his stops, $2,000 his stops minus what he owed me for a little bit of gas. I didn't take out everything he owed me for gas. and the damage, some of the damages to the truck. And that was just some of the damages that he did.
Why are you taking off for damages to the truck that he owns?
Because when I told him in the beginning, in the beginning, I told him any repairs. This was a verbal agreement that we had. I said any repairs that are done to the truck, you have to run them past me first, because I don't want you just getting some fly-by-night mechanic just in case you can't afford to pay for the truck and I have to take the truck back from you.
So hold on a second. I want to get this straight. You went into his paycheck and deducted from a personal agreement that the two of you had about him purchasing a truck from you? That's exactly what you just said to me.
I'm explaining myself.
No, I don't need to hear anymore. I don't need to hear anymore. You're double dipping.
I'm not. That's not double dipping. You can call it double dipping, but that's not.
You have a personal agreement with him. This has nothing to do with the company, and you're going into his company check, making deductions about this truck? That's what you just said to me. You're dead wrong. Your company paid him for 84 stops?
Yes.
You say you made how many stops, sir?
125 stops.
Okay, I'm going to order him to pay you the difference. Because of all of the inconsistencies and the lack of record keeping and your convenient excuse, you go between you running the company and you not having access to the records to bring them to court. So I'm going to order you to pay him for the 36 stops that he says he made. In addition, I'm going to order you to refund him the $3,000 for the truck since you decided... Since you decided to go into his personal paycheck and take money from his check for a personal deal the two of you had, you're going to pay him for the truck that you took back after only a month. Judgment for the plaintiff, $4,260.
Plaintiff Barbara Nordman is suing her former landlord, Thomas Nelson, for her security deposit and charges for a broken projector. She is joined in court with her son, Shade. Defendant Thomas Nelson claims he's replacing the projector damaged by the plaintiff and only expects her to pay for partial costs.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Nordman versus Nelson.
Thank you, Barbara. Barbara Nordman.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Thomas Nelson?
Yes.
For $1,000 for the return of your security deposit and for overcharging you for the cost of a movie projector?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't we start from the beginning and tell me how you know Mr. Nelson?
Okay, I rented a house from Mr. Nelson, and we had a good, tenant, landlord relationship. If I had anything that needed to be fixed, he was on it right away. During our walkthrough, it was very pleasurable.
Okay, so let's step back for a second. So you moved in to the defendant's home. You have a home that you lease, sir?
Yes.
What kind of house is it?
It's a single-family home in Verrado. It's a very nice home, an upgraded community.
And did you place a listing online?
No, I had a real estate agent handle it.
Okay, and how long did you live there, ma'am?
1 year.
Who did you live there with?
My children, Shade, and my daughters, Summer and Nalia.
Did the two of you sign a lease agreement?
Yes.
Do either of you have a copy of the lease? May I see it? How much was the rent? Do you recall, sir?
$15 plus $20 for tax.
Okay. And how much did you pay in a security deposit?
There was around $3,000. So our security deposit, I believe...
I mean, you're suing for your security deposit. You don't remember how much you paid?
No, ma'am.
You say that when you moved out, he did not return all of your security deposit and you're suing him for $1,000, the remainder of your security deposit? Okay, sir, let me ask you, why did you withhold part of her security deposit?
Well, it's very simple. When a tenant moves into the house, they're very touchy about how it has to be perfect in every respect. But when they move out, they don't have that same inclination, I should say. There were expenditures that had to be done because of the homeowners association.
Okay, but the real issue, though, because the part that she's suing about, I think you kept a portion of it and you agreed to it. The portion that's in dispute is what you kept for a projector that was in your home.
Well, the reason we moved into the home, Your Honor, is it has a small theater room with a projector and a nice screen. It was very nice. And since I was just with my children, So we'd go in there, watch movies, watch TV, and the projector was nice. On the lease, it states that I'm responsible for half of the replacement of the light bulb. When it
In the projector?
For the projector.
May I see a photo of the theater room? I understand you submitted one to court.
Yes.
Okay, is that the projector?
On the left, yes, ma'am. Okay, and also in the lease, it states that I'm responsible for that.
Responsible for the light bulb
light.
in the projector.
Yes.
Why did you decide to leave the projector in the home?
It's part of the selling point of the lease. And it's a very high selling point because the first person that always looks at the house always rents that house because it has this great theater. The theater is just like any other appliance. When that breaks down, it has to have a professional fix it.
That was not in the lease.
That's just the basics. If the refrigerator breaks down, you have to have a professional fix it. If the air conditioning, you have to have, whatever the appliance is, it has to be repaired by a professional.
Coming up on Judge Faith.
It's a $3,500 projector. The issue, she said, the bulb blew up.
I removed the screws, pulled it out. Also, there was also screws in the light. I removed those.
Okay, did you tell him you were ordering a bulb the second time?
I did not.
I would not let a housewife change a bulb or do anything to have to do with a piece of equipment.
Plaintiff Barbara Nordman is suing her former landlord, Thomas Nelson, for her security deposit and money he charged her for a broken projector. Defendant Thomas Nelson said the plaintiff should have called him when she realized the projector needed repairs.
I had to replace the light previously. This last time was the second time. I sent him the email and I said, this is what I order. All his response was, looks great.
Is that true?
Yeah, and call me when the bulb comes in. I'll get it replaced for you.
Do you have the email?
I do, ma'am.
So you say you said that in the email, sir?
No, that was much earlier in the game, much earlier in the process.
So the first time you order the bulb, you send him an email, he responds, looks great. And what do? Do you install it?
Yes, he had asked me. I owned a projector in my other home. It's a light bulb. You just take it out and put it back in. I did it several times, and he's like, okay.
So you knew she changed the light bulb herself the first time around?
I knew after the fact.
That is not true. I sent you an email with the light that I was changing it.
It is true because when she called me and said she ordered a light bulb, she had ordered a light bulb.
Mm-hmm. May I see that, Barbara?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so when I expected to be called when the bulb came in, because you have to have a professional repair it.
Do you really though? People buy these bulbs all the time online and change the light bulbs. All it is changing the light bulb in the projector.
It's a $3,500 projector.
Right, I understand that.
It's more expensive than my refrigerator.
So, sir, who's the professional? You? So you want to be the person to come in and change it?
I would have a professional do it.
Where and when do you give her specific instructions about who's supposed to change the light bulb in the projector?
In the lease, it also says that there is a projector in the lease, there's a refrigerator in the lease. Those are all appliances. When they are bad, and as she sold you in the past, I come in and repair them with a service company.
Was that specifically, I'm trying to understand here, was that specifically communicated to her that when the bulb went out and it needed to be replaced, that a professional needed to come in?
It was communicated in the same way that a refrigerator has to be replaced by a professional. I worked for a video company for 10 years. I would not let a housewife change a bulb or do anything to have to do with a piece of equipment. I would do it myself.
Because she's not capable? Because she's a housewife? What does she know?
Apparently.
Yeah,
I'm not
right,
a mechanic
exactly.
either.
It's a technical. It's a technical aspect of a video thing.
What kind of projector is this?
It's a Sharp projector.
Okay, when was it purchased?
It was 3 years ago it was purchased.
Okay, how much did you pay for it?
$3,300.
Have you ever had to replace a bulb prior to her moving into the home?
I have 5 homes with projectors in them.
This particular projector.
I never replaced this one.
Never replaced the bulb. Okay. The first time she comes to you, because the bulb was replaced twice in the year that she lived there, right?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know where the second one was done, and I don't know why she would do a second one. If the first one failed, then she should have got her hands off of it and left it to a professional to get it straightened out.
So you're saying you didn't realize that the bulb had been replaced twice?
Oh, no.
Okay, you just realized that the projector, something was wrong with it, and you think it's because she put in the bulb herself and not a professional. Who put the bulb in the first time?
I did.
You did yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you do that?
I removed the screws, pulled it out. Also, there was also screws in the light. I removed those, took the bulb and placed it right back in. If you don't put it in correctly, it doesn't flush on the projector. So I knew it was I turned the projector back on. It worked great.
And when it went out a second time in a year, you ordered a new bulb?
I did.
Okay, and did you tell him you were ordering a bulb the second time?
I did not.
Okay, so he just wasn't aware of the second time you put in the bulb. So then, when do you find out that there's a problem with the projector?
When the house is brought back to me and said, let's have a walkthrough.
What was the issue? What was the problem?
The issue, she said, I blew the bulb blew up.
Did the bulb blow up in the projector?
It did, and I did not touch it. And it didn't. It popped. So I didn't.
How long after you installed it did the bulb pop?
It was probably there a few months.
And it popped after a few months?
Yes.
Okay.
So then I realized after he said it needed to be vacuumed out, which nowhere did it say, or was aware of that. I did not change it.
Did you inform him when the bulb popped?
During the walkthrough, I said, I did not change the lamp and the projector because it broke.
Did you report that to him, or did he discover that on his own during the walk?
I told him on the walkthrough.
What was the time frame? When the projector popped, it stopped working, to when you did the walkthrough?
2 weeks.
Okay, so you didn't tell him that the projector wasn't working until he discovered it at the walkthrough, right?
Well, I told him about it.
But
yes,
at the walkthrough?
Correct.
So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm not an expert at these kinds of things, but it's not because I'm a housewife. You understand? It's because I haven't done this kind of work. So what I did is I called in an expert.
There's a lot of special care that's involved when handling the actual lamp.
Do you think that caused the bulb to explode a couple of months later?
Plaintiff Barbara Nordman is suing former landlord Thomas Nelson for her security deposit and money he overcharged for a projector. Defendant Thomas Nelson says the plaintiff should have notified him when the projector lamp needed to be replaced.
So what I did is I called in an expert to come into court and explain to the court, after hearing your testimony, his expert opinion about what happened with this projector and the light bulb. So right now I'd like to welcome Adam Portelli into court. He is a lighting installer and design technician with over 15 years of experience. Mr. Portelli, have you had the opportunity to hear the testimony?
I have, yeah.
From both plaintiff and defendant in this case?
Yes.
And you heard from Mr. Nelson what kind of projector this is and what kind of bulb they needed to be replaced?
I have. Anytime you're installing a projector, it's not like a household light where you can just kind of climb up a ladder and screw it in yourself. There's a lot of special care that's involved when handling the actual lamp.
When you say lamp, is that the bulb?
Yes, the bulb. Those deposits from your finger can actually cause the lamp to explode because it burns through. So basically you need to have a glove or a paper towel. You need someone who kind of knows how to do that type of installation.
When you heard Ms. Nordman's testimony that she didn't use a glove, she didn't cover her hands with anything, and she took the bulb out with her own bare hands and installed it, do you think that caused the bulb to explode a couple of months later?
Quite possibly, because if a professional were to install that, they would never just use their bare hands. You would always put gloves on. And then if it went out a few months later, that's about the time span. It'll turn on, it'll work for a week or two or months, and then it will just randomly go out.
Do you find it strange that the bulb had to be replaced twice in 1 year?
Very strange. Those lamps will last, easily a year or two.
Do you think that the problem was the installation?
It sounds to me like it could very well have been.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Portelli. Clearly, after you put the bulb in the first time, when it went out again and you had to order a new one, you didn't tell him about it, and I think it's because you knew there was a problem. And when you found out that the projector wasn't working, did you have a technician come in and check it out?
I took the projector down. I took it to Scottsdale, where there is professionals. There's none where this is. In Buckeye, there's nobody there. And I had them look at it, and they told me that because it blew up in there, because the glass shards were in there, they were going to have to take the projector apart and clean all the shards out of it. That was going to cost $300, and then the bulb was going to cost $349. It was getting into too much money with no guarantee.
It was no guarantee that it would be fixed?
Well, they said once they did that, then they couldn't find out whether it was completely solved, the problem, or not, and it might blow another bulb out.
So what did you decide to do? Did you get a new projector?
So I decided to buy another projector, a lesser projector, one of lesser quality.
So you purchased a second projector. How much did that one cost?
$1,149.
Do you have proof of that?
Yes.
May I see it, please? And are you asking her to pay the full price for the second projector? Is that what you did? You kept that full amount of her security deposit?
Okay, so I asked her for half of, or $500 is what I asked her for. And the end result, I offered her to pay to her $740 as of the $1,000, and she turned that down.
So I'm asking you, how much of her security, in the end, is this $1,000 that you kept for a projector?
I gave her back, or I tried to give her back $740. I only kept $200.
Ma'am, what is the $1,000 that you're suing for? That's the amount of the security deposit that he kept?
Correct.
Okay, so my question to you, sir, is why did you keep $1,000 of the security deposit?
Because I sent her email $740, and she turned it down.
Okay, so you only asked her to pay for half of the projector.
Exactly.
After the bulb went out the first time and you now know you have to replace it a second time, that should have been a red flag to you, because those bulbs should not be going out that quickly.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
How much of your security deposit was returned to you of the $1,895?
Well, he wanted to charge me initially $1,744, then he offered me $625, and then he offered me $740 without providing receipts and or quotes for what he did.
You're only suing for $1,000. So for whatever reason, you decided he should keep a part of your security deposit, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm only dealing with the $1,000 and with the projector. That's what I'm going to deal with. Well, you brought a witness with you today?
Yes.
Your son?
Yeah.
Shade, why don't you step up? How old are you?
I am 18.
What do you have to say about this?
What I think about the situation is that because there was no actual mention of a professional needing to change the bulb, we have went by our own past experiences with our own past projector that we own currently at our new residence. We have changed the bulb around 3 times a year, and my dad has done that.
Okay, but now you've heard from a professional who says that it probably went out because you used your bare hands. Unfortunately for you, your assumption was wrong.
Yeah.
It's not normal.
Unfortunate.
But I appreciate you coming in today and testifying on behalf of your mom. But now you know going forward with projectors, you can't use your bare hands to change a bulb.
And I will be telling my father that so we don't have to buy a bulb 4 times a year.
Sir, based on the testimony I've heard today, ma'am, I think it's reasonable for you to pay for half of the cost of the projector based on the expert testimony I've heard. You clearly didn't understand how to change these bulbs, and the first time when you realized that there was a problem when the bulb went went out a second time. You should have alerted your landlord immediately, and you did not do that. Based on that, I'm finding you're responsible for half of the cost of the new projector, which is $574.50. So I'm subtracting that from the $1,000 you kept, sir, and I'm ordering you to return $425.50 of her security deposit. That's all, ma'am.
Plaintiff Daniel Clemens says his former friend backed his prize ride into a pillar and promised to pay for the damage. He's suing for the cost to repair the car. Defendant Richard Hunley admits he caused the damage, but claims he doesn't owe anything because Daniel was distracting him. He's countersuing for harassment and slander.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Clemens versus Hunley.
Thank you, Juan. Daniel Clemens?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Richard Hunley?
Yes.
For $3,000 for car repair costs?
Yes.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $3,000 for harassment and slander?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with you, Mr. Clemens. How do you know the defendant?
I know the defendant from 4 years ago. We met because we were sent to the same assignment. We were with a temp agency, and we were the only ones that had that really energetic spirit. So we really hit it off, and we've been friends ever since. Well, I mean, we were friends up until the incident with my car. It's hard for me to talk about it. Just the car. That's my baby.
How would you describe your relationship with Mr. Clemens prior to this incident?
A real good relationship. We hung out outside of work, so much so prior to that, he came to me and he asked for a loan, and I lent him some money.
And he paid you back?
No.
Oh, okay. You're not countersuing for a loan.
No. This is, I'm countersuing for harassment, but part of me feeling like I'm not, obligated to pay is because I wasn't paid back the money that I loaned him.
Okay. Why don't we talk about how we got here today?
We were at the mall. We were there, and I didn't feel like driving that day, because I was kind of tired. So I said, you could drive,
And so you let him drive the car that you love so much?
Often, Your Honor.
Do you do that often?
He's done it before, yeah.
So you asked him to drive as a favor because you were tired?
Yeah.
So he did a favor and said, okay, I'll drive your car for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're in the parking garage of the mall, and he's pulling off, and he turned too soon, and he kind of scraped the bumper pillar when he was turning.
What kind of car is this?
It's a 1999 Grand Marquis, the ultimate car.
Your Honor. Your Honor, for the record. Your Honor, for the record, I drive a 2000 Grand Marquis as well.
It's nice.
Okay, so I see there are several parts of your car that are damaged. It's missing a hubcap. There are some dents along the side.
Well,
what do you say he caused?
Well, okay, the hubcap, that doesn't have anything to do with this. That's just something that was prior,
So you always drive around with a missing hubcap on the car that you love so much?
Well, it's kind of a thing. People like it. They talk about it like, oh, wow, you're so, innovative and stuff like that. So,
Can you walk over to the flat screen and show me where you say he hit your car in the parking garage that day?
Okay, basically it started from here, as you can see, this dent. It was just like, and I was just like, I was just like, what was that,
All right, thank you, sir, thank you. Mr. Hunley.
Drama.
Mr. Hunley, what do you say happened, sir?
Coming up, a driving demonstration in court.
Juan, please put your hands up like you're driving. Show me what he was doing while you were driving the car.
He was basically talking like, what's going on? You think I'm crazy? Just all in my space.
And later, magic fingers, or lethal weapons.
And the nails actually did cut inside my ears. There was abrasion cuts inside it.
Have you had this kind of massage before inside of your ears?
That's not the way he's describing it.
Plaintiff Daniel Clemens says his former friend backed his car into a pillar and is refusing to pay for the damage. He's suing for the cost to repair the car. Defendant Richard Hunley says the accident wasn't his fault because Daniel was distracting him. He's countersuing for harassment and slander.
I drove down there, so naturally I got in the driver's side and we were leaving. We were fussing because I wasn't ready to go, he was ready to go. And he was gesturing with his hands as, I'm trying to, get out of there.
What was he doing with his hands? I want you to show me. Demonstrate. Actually, Juan, would you step over there next to the defendant? So now you're driving. Juan is the passenger.
Oh. Well, no, he would have to be the driver.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay. Juan, you're driving. You are the plaintiff as the passenger.
Right. So
show me what he was doing while you were driving the car.
All right, so yeah, you're looking at me and we're talking and he's, gesturing with his hands like this.
So you're not looking at the road, you're looking at him.
Him and the road. Because, peripheral, I can see.
So you're driving using your peripheral vision.
At all. Yeah.
And so you're looking at him, and he's doing what with his hands? Juan, please put your hands up like you're driving. Show me what he was doing.
He was basically like, talking like, what's going on? You think I'm crazy? Just all in my space. All in my space.
Okay.
So, as soon as I felt I was close to the podium, I stopped. So,
Thank you, Juan. So after he starts gesturing, then you hit the concrete pillar. What happens?
It was still, kind of the heat of the moment. I was trying to, not cause a scene. And so I was like, just get in the car. It's not that bad. I'll take care of it.
Okay, so you did offer to take care of it.
Well, at the time, that was just to dead the situation. The comp.
So you didn't really mean it. You just said it to.
Well, no, because in the back of my mind,
Liar.
I still was thinking he still owes me $300.
Why are you suing for $3,000 when the car is only worth $1,500?
It's just about the principle and just,
I'm not here to teach lessons, sir. I'm here to make an assessment based on the law and the amount of damages to your car.
The auto people, they gave me the estimate. It's $3,000 worth of damages.
You're telling me it's going to be $3,000 to fix the scrape on the side of that car?
It's more than scrape. The dent, it was a dent, a scrape, and then a scrape. Like, a dent, scrape.
Why are you countersuing for harassment?
I'm countersuing for harassment because he left harassing messages on my phone.
No.
Did you do that?
I did not. I'm not harassing him.
He was just calling me saying, I want my money. You did this to my car. You said you was going to take care of it type thing.
Do you have any evidence of the harassment?
Just the voicemails. And then
Let me hear a voicemail.
Friends.
Let me hear the voicemail.
What's going on? I mean, you said you were going to give me the money for the damage that you did to my car, and now you're playing games. I want the money. I'm not playing with you. I want my money.
It's threatening.
Okay? You said you're going to take care of this, and now you're acting like you don't know what's going on. All right? I want the money. I'm tired of playing games with you.
And that was just one of many, Your
Okay,
Honor.
so let's go over how this is harassment. He said, you said you would give me the money. Is that harassing you? Is that a threat?
No, that's not a threat.
I want my money.
What money?
You said you would give me the money. Surely you know what he's talking about. So why are you saying what money? You know what he's talking about. You drove the car. You damaged the car. You were negligent. You're saying that he contributed to your negligence by waving his arms in the air. I don't find that testimony to be credible. I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff the value of his 1999 Mercury Grand Marquis, $1,542, and get a hubcap on that car while you're at it. Justice for the plaintiff.
Plaintiff Aaron Baroni says his inner ears were injured during a full body massage, and his insurance only covered a portion of the expenses. He's suing for out-of-pocket medical costs. Defendant Mary Ding says Aaron was very demanding, but refused to provide her with doctor bills. And there is no way her massage technique could cause injury. She's accompanied by Irma Burnett.
Aaron Baroni?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Mary Ding, for $5,730 for out-of-pocket medical expenses, including doctor's visits, medication, lost wages, and pain and suffering?
Yes.
And you know the statutory maximum in my courtroom is $5,000?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll start from the beginning, sir. Tell me what's going on here.
I went to the defendant's massage parlor in Burbank, and basically, I went for a nice massage, but it ended up being the massage from hell. The masseuse, around the 45-minute mark is when they flip you around and put you on your back, and then they start doing your front. So basically, that's when the masseuse had her fingers were all lubricated with oil and lotions.
Mm-hmm.
So eyes closed, I'm laying there, and she shoved her fingers deep into my ears and started rotating clockwise with my head moving like that, trying to massage, I think, my brain inside. So it was really deep in, and it took me about probably, I would say, 8 to 9 seconds to realize what was going on, because I was not in that state. I was relaxing until I told her to stop, and she stopped, and obviously it hurt.
Are you the owner of the massage parlor, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you been in business?
Burbank, this one, 2 years.
Okay, and are you the masseuse that gave him the massage?
No, I am her friend and a faithful customer of Mary.
Oh, you're a customer?
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of massage did you get that day?
Normal body massage.
Okay.
I mean, I get massages probably once a month for the past, I would say, 10 years, because I work out often and I need it once a month at least. And never in my life have I ever had anyone, I mean, it's really unsanitary to stick your fingers that deep in. And the nails actually did cut inside my ears. There was abrasion cuts inside it, because she went really deep and really hard.
Were you experiencing any pain?
When she was doing it, yes.
Afterwards?
Afterwards, no.
Okay.
Until nighttime. Nighttime, when all night I was up. So in the morning, I just texted my boss, said, hey, I'm not coming in, because I was up all night. So or in the afternoon, I decided to go into the defendant's office and tell her what happened, because it was really bothering me. And I went in there, and she said her defense was it's normal practice, and she gets her ears massaged inside once a week. She claimed.
Is that true?
Yes, Helen. I pick her to do my massage. That's why.
Helen is your masseuse with that day?
That day was,
okay.
Yes.
And have you had this kind of massage before inside of your ears?
Yes, and actually, Helen, I had Helen for 2 years. She's my favorite masseuse, and she never hurt me, never.
And you had this massage in your ears?
She comes, but it's not the way he's describing it, yeah.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the numbers don't add up.
Nothing has been deducted from your January or February pay.
No.
Okay, that's not what you told me earlier. That's not what you testified to earlier.
Plaintiff Aaron Baroni says he was injured during a full body massage. He's suing for out-of-pocket medical costs. Defendant Mary Ding says there is no way her massage technique could cause injury.
Okay, can you demonstrate? I understand you brought your massage table. You want to demonstrate to me the procedure that you did.
Only when we only have 10 or 15 minutes on the head. We're pretty good on the head or like this. But for the ear, Helen does like this, but only touch, here, this area. And maybe have some pulling like this, but not only like this, only less than 1 minute or 2 minutes. That's all. If you don't like it, I always talk to the customer. If you don't like this, you just say stop or no. They will understand well.
Okay, and is there any reason why Helen isn't here today to testify about what happened that day?
Helen knows English.
She doesn't speak English?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Have there been any previous complaints by customers about this kind of massage?
Never, only him.
Once I went there the next day to complain, everything was fine. I got her insurance information just because I wanted to say, I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. When I spoke to her the week after and I told her, hey, I went to the doctor says I have abrasions inside my ear. It was literally constant pain the whole day without the medication. I literally have to drop every 45 minutes. You have to put a drop in there. She said that she'll only pay for my stuff if I go to her doctor, because she doesn't take the word of my doctor. And I said, listen, I'm not going to different doctor offices. I already know what my doctor is.
I asked him if he still hurts something like this, I can bring him go to see the doctor. But he says no. And then I ask if you already see the doctor, you give me the bill, I will pay it. That's all.
And
but he says no.
And did you submit a bill to her?
No, I didn't, because she wasn't cooperating.
What was the date of the massage?
The date of the massage was January 8th. It was a Thursday.
And let me see your medical bills.
It's the prescription and the doctor's bill with the doctor's note.
Do you have any medical records?
No, that's just the note from the doctor.
I have an excuse slip. Was this given to your office?
I had the doctor write that so I could submit it to work because I had to take a week off.
See, I don't have your medical records. I just have here that you were seen in his office for external ear canal abrasions.
I have insurance, so insurance paid for obviously for most of it. It's just the only out-of-pocket cost was the week that I was out of work and just the co-pays.
Your out-of-pocket expenses, one $30 fee for going to the doctor and one $60 prescription bill.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Okay, show me where the 7 days you say you weren't paid for are reflected on these documents, because you say you missed 7 days of work. I don't see it on your pay. Show me.
Yeah, it's not on there. It's time off.
Why would it not be on here? Because this is a pretty detailed document about what you got paid in January and what you got paid in February. You took 7 days off. Why would it not be reflected on these statements?
Our company doesn't log sick days onto the portal.
But it would be deducted from your pay, right?
It's personal days off. So I took 7 days of personal days off.
You were not deducted pay in January or February. So where would that be reflected if it would not be reflected in your January and February earnings statement?
Our personal days off accrue. So once it accrues, if we leave the company, you could cash out the days that you have left in the company. And that's...
So as of now, nothing has been deducted from your January or February pay?
No.
Okay, that's not what you told me earlier. That's not what you testified to earlier.
It's my personal days. It's my personal days that doesn't come out.
This is your day in court. You got to, if you're going to make this happen, you got to make it happen today. You have to have your evidence and your proof today. Your evidence is really thin, and it's your burden of proof. The issue is it over $4,000 worth of pain and suffering? To me, when you come in here and you tell me that you missed this work, that you missed 7 days of work, that you weren't paid, that you missed a salary, and then you submit statements to me showing that that is not in fact the case, your credibility is sliding here.
I understand.
It's on a slippery slope right now, and it sounds like you're embellishing. My judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $90 for the doctor bills and prescription bills, your out-of-pocket expenses, plus your court costs. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Plaintiff Kim Dotson says her former roommate bailed out on the lease without paying what she owed. She's suing for a rent deposit and home repair costs. She's accompanied by her wife, Delana Dotson. Defendant Shay Anderson says living with Kim was unbearable, and she doesn't owe anything because the poor living conditions forced her to move.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, we have Dotson versus Anderson.
Thank you, Barbara. Kim Dotson?
Yes.
You are suing Shay Anderson for $1,654 for rent deposit and home repairs?
Yes.
And I understand you have a witness here with you today, Delana Dotson?
Yes.
Okay, how are you, ma'am?
Great.
We'll start with you, Ms. Dotson. Tell me how you know Ms. Anderson.
I know her through my wife, Delana.
Delana, tell me what happened. How do you know Ms. Anderson?
We've been good friends for, I would say, close to 10 years, if not more than 10 years. Me and Kim had just got married at the mid-January, January 14th, we got married. And at that
Congratulations.
point, thank you.
Thank you.
My mother passed away in February. And, you know, as a friend, she reached out to me. She wanted to be there for me, which I thought was nice at that point. After she passed, we looked to move to a different place, a different area. We wanted a new start. So she got kicked out of with her aunt. She said that they were putting her stuff out on the curb and she was crying, going through it. She had nowhere else to go. She said, why don't we move in a big house together and I'll pay half? So we were reluctant, but we were like, okay, well, it'll save us.
Why were you looking for a place to live at that time?
I was staying with my aunt at that particular time, okay? When Delana and Kim and I all met up, at first moving wasn't even part of the conversation. She was going through a hard time, and I mean, we were friends. I wanted to be there for her, especially I haven't seen her in a while. It's been a while. I told them about the issues that I was having, and the issues wasn't nowhere near getting kicked out. I was having a simple issue with, I think I was just really paying too much and I was doing too much at the house when I could really be saving money.
Okay, so the bottom line is the three of you moved into a home together. There's a lease agreement? A signed lease agreement? May I see that? And you signed the lease, right?
Yes.
Okay, and the first issue is the security deposit.
Yes.
Now, so the three of you are going to share, are you going to split the rent 50-50 and you're going to pay half of the security deposit, right?
Right.
What happens with the security deposit?
I paid it. She didn't have any money. I paid all of it.
Okay, so isn't that red flag number one? If you're moving in with somebody?
I can give you red flag number one. Would you like that?
Yes, I would.
Red flag number one was the very first time I met her. We decided to go in my car because we met up at a clothing store. We dropped her car off, and my wife wanted something to eat. What caught my eye, which I should have had the red flag then, someone mysteriously left their wallet in their car.
So you were going to eat what?
Actually, it was tacos from a taco truck.
And when you say someone being the defendant?
Yes, the defendant, Shay, left her wallet. And I, of course, had to pay for her food. I didn't have to. I offered to because she said she left her wallet.
So she doesn't have money for tacos. You're saying this is probably not someone who has money for rent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So that's red flag number one. But hold on. Okay. Red flag number two. So you decide after she doesn't have money for tacos that you're going to enter into a lease agreement with Miss Anderson. Were you working at the time?
Yes, I was working.
And so
she said.
She wasn't working?
She said she was. We just never saw no money.
I was working, okay? And then, just to go back to the tacos and stuff, when I left my wallet, I told Kim and them I was not gonna eat anything because I had left my wallet.
Oh my God.
Kim said, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go ahead and get you. We talking about $2 tacos, okay? That's what we're speaking of.
If you didn't have money for a security deposit, I just want to know why if you're working at that time.
At that particular time, we had first spoke about it when we was looking, because we didn't bring up the security deposit and everything until we actually started looking for a place to stay.
Your Honor, might I add, at the beginning, Ms. Anderson claimed that she was head of security. She has she makes all this money, and money isn't a problem. She called, I don't know whose bank account, but she let me hear it, and she said somebody tried fraud on her bank account. So she let me hear this bank account, and it had over $5,000, and she said she was talking to the banker, going through all of this, acting like she was trying to handle her bank account. So she said, oh, I have money. You know, I work this and this and that. Once my money gets off hold, I'm gonna pay the deposit. I'm gonna pay extra on the rent. You know, we had looked at different houses. We agreed on different fixtures and different things we all wanted to, accommodate to make the house nice.
For all three of us.
Yes, and honestly, Kim and I were looking for a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment or a house. Miss Anderson's cousin called her on the phone and told her that her aunt was putting her out for not paying or whatever. All her stuff was on the curb.
Stuff out on the street.
She was crying, and at that point, while she was helping Kim and I look for places, she asked at that point, well, I'm going through all of this. How about we all just move in she said a 3, 4, 5 bedroom. We like, dang.
Pool in the whole nice house.
She wanted to do it big,
Okay,
Your
so
Honor.
I've heard 3 red flags at this point. I've heard.
That is.
Hold on a second, Ms.
true.
Anderson. So if someone calls you up and tells you that she's being kicked out for not paying rent.
They didn't call us. They called her.
They called her. We heard her.
Oh, you heard
to
the
them
conversation.
On the phone. Right.
She didn't
We
put it
didn't
on
hear
speaker
both
or
sides.
nothing.
We just least heard her side.
And she just put her head down and started crying and said, you guys,
and that's not a red flag.
Coming up on Judge Faith. Did Kim and Delana ignore all the signs, or was Shay just a master of illusions?
Rent is due on the 1st, sweetheart. I'm worrying about my overhead, my bills. You know, I'm not trying to be out on the streets. It's business first.
I was going through financial issues. I was already having problems not getting paid for my job.
You don't have to have a crystal ball to foresee that she was going to have a problem paying the rent.
Plaintiff Kim Dotson says Shay never paid them what she owed. Instead, she just gave them excuses. She's suing for rent deposit and home repair costs. Defendant Shay Anderson says Kim and Delana asked her to move, so she doesn't owe anything.
The tacos were a red flag, but her being kicked out for not paying rent.
Granted, my heart is this big. Granted, my heart is that big.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I fully understand where you're coming from. I fully understand.
Here's what I'm
painted
saying.
a nice picture of everything and the things that we were hearing as far as the bank account and things like that. It put a little cushion under me.
Did you call your bank and allow Ms. Dawson to listen in and hear that you had or someone had $5,000 in a bank account?
Delana, yes. Delana even seen the paperwork. It wasn't even a call in.
But you didn't have $5,000 in an account.
Actually, it wasn't even, I'm gonna go ahead and get this straight, okay? It wasn't even 5,000, okay? It was around 3,500 that was in my account at that particular time. This was before we moved in, okay? So at that particular time, yes, I was going through a whole lot of issues, okay? I was going through financial issues. I was already having problems not getting paid for my job. I was already having personal stuff that I had to do.
But we didn't know none of that. We didn't know that.
My thing is with them, okay, because Delana is a friend, Kim became my friend, okay, after that. Once me and Kim started talking, we developed our own personal relationships. I was very, very honest up front. The agreement was she was gonna go ahead and she was gonna pay the deposit, you know, pretty much the first and last. That's pretty much what it is, okay? I was gonna do half. After I went ahead and got my check, because once we moved in, I clearly started expressing on numerous occasions that I was already having issues getting paid.
From what you're telling me today, you had a lot of issues, financial issues, issues with your job prior to moving in with the plaintiffs. What they're saying is you were not upfront about those things. We all go through challenging times financially. They're just saying that there was an expectation. You signed a lease. This is a what, 1 year lease?
A 1 year lease.
You signed a 1 year
12
lease.
months.
And there is an expectation, ma'am, that when you sign a lease to pay rent and you now have other people relying on the fact that you can do that. You see what I'm saying? It's an issue when you present to them that you have money that you don't have. I believe what she's saying about the phone call to the bank.
But no,
and the reason why someone does that is because they want to lead people to believe that they're going to be able to make their payments when they do. You never paid the rest of the security deposit. After the three of you moved in together, tell me what happened.
She wrote a bad check at one time. The very first time she was late with the rent. The second time she wrote a bad check.
Did you write a bad check for rent?
It wasn't even a bad check.
Yes, it was. It was an almost bad check.
It wasn't even an almost bad check. How you gonna have an almost bad check? How you gonna have an almost bad check?
What happened? Did the check bounce?
Because of my fraud situation that I had with my account, they closed out that whole entire account, okay? The checks, I still had the same bank accounts. I mean, not the same bank accounts, I still had the same bank people. I was still banking with the same people though. They just opened up different accounts for me, okay? So that's the only thing that they did. With me having a couple of, you know what I'm saying, different checkbooks or whatever the case is, I did write one check that went to an older account.
That's a bad check.
Yeah.
But
that's
I
a bad
went ahead and then because I caught it before the owner of the house.
The owner called her to tell her it was a bad check.
I called him. Okay, I told him, you know what, before you go ahead and cash that check, because I hope you didn't do it, I think that's the wrong check. Like, I have the right checking numbers, the right checking account here for you. He says, well, you know, I already deposited, but he says, I can just go ahead and stop by the house and just go ahead and get your cash for you. I said, that's perfectly fine. I went ahead and paid him cash that very same day because he met us at the house.
Oh, my God,
and then
that's
I
not
also
true.
paid just for the bounce check, which was that extra $35. And then the next month was a holiday.
I don't understand. You said that you caught it before it went through.
Right.
Then the check bounced and you paid for a bounce check that day?
Right, well,
How do you pay for a bounce check? How do you pay for? No, let me finish because you're trying to keep your story straight. How do you pay for a bounce check fee if you caught it before it went through?
This is how I caught it. Okay.
I don't want a long drawn out story. I just want you to answer my question.
I'm not. I just seen my checkbook. Okay. When I was going ahead and adding up the money in my accounts because we had something else to take care of as far as groceries and everything else as far as the household is concerned. Okay. When I was doing that, I was looking for that particular check to already be cashed when I called into the bank. They told me they didn't even have that check number. So when I actually caught it, I called him. It wasn't like, he called me, he had to chase me down for it. He got that very same money that very same day in cash before the check even bounced.
You're full of, let me tell you something, ma'am. You're full of too many excuses. Okay, you have a story and an excuse for every single question I ask you about. I can barely get a straight answer from you, and I just want to know the truth.
Coming up on Judge Faith, can these former friends find their BFF bliss, or is this divorce final?
And I specifically said, so you're just gonna come in here, creep in, pack your stuff and leave. We have rent tomorrow.
Everybody goes through hard times. If you don't have the money, that's one thing. Just say, I didn't have the money.
Plaintiff Kim Dotson says Shay walked out on them after only 3 months and never paid what she owed. She's suing for a rent deposit and home repair costs. Defendant Shay Anderson says she doesn't owe Kim and Delana anything because they knew she didn't have the money.
Everybody goes through hard times. If you don't have the money, that's one thing. Just say, I didn't have the money. Yeah, I probably bounced a check, but I was doing my best at the time because it is clear to me you just didn't have the money to pay the rent or to pay half of the security deposit. How long did you live there in the house?
3 months.
Okay, why did you move out?
Because basically I was asked to. I was coming in for a trip. I was coming in from a trip, from a work trip. They came into my room. Well, actually, Delana came into my room first. That day, she had asked, she says, well, what's going on? What are you doing? You're packing. I said, well, I'm going to San Diego. I said, pretty much, I basically was honest then.
Before that even came up, I said, tomorrow is the 1st of the month, so you're packing to leave. Do you have your rent money? Straight up, I asked her. She said, no, I don't have any money. My job messed over our checks. She had been promising that she had been working all these events. Her check was gonna be huge. We were gonna be able to do this and that for the house.
On their check,
so this is one night before, and I specifically said, so you're just gonna come in here, creep in, pack your stuff and leave. We have rent tomorrow. I said, you don't have $100 yet? I don't have nothing. She was looking pathetic.
She was going to San Francisco to do some dirt, to get the money to pay for the rent and the bills that she had behind. That's the story she told me.
What do you mean dirt?
Let me add.
Whatever illegal thing she had to do.
This is what happened.
That's why she came in the house with her keys and her remote control in her hand to give us, because she didn't want to get caught up with the keys and the remote control in case she had to go to jail for whatever it is. She went to San Francisco with her and whatever friends or whoever that she went with to get the money.
That came out of her mouth.
That came out of her mouth.
When I walked in the room, it's because I had been texting her, calling her, rent is due on the 1st, sweetheart. I'm worrying about my overhead, my bills. I'm not trying to be out on the streets. It's business first. So when she didn't say nothing, that was weird. I had been texting, calling her, no, nothing. So she crept in the house. Normally we go to sleep pretty early. We wake up early in the morning from jobs and we just wake up early. So she came in. Normally we're in our room, door closed, sleep, whatever. This particular time, our godson was with us for his summer vacation. So we were staying up, watching movies, having a good time.
You think she was trying to leave and just skip town altogether?
No.
Sure she was.
Let me add this. I asked her, I said, what are you?
You guys are definitely married. I'll tell you that right now.
This is the main part. To cut off, it was long. To make a long story short, I asked her, I was like, Shay, I've been calling you, what's going on? And so I was like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to San Diego or whatever.
San Francisco.
Or whatever she said. It was one of those sands.
And she used the word to do dirt.
Yes.
To do dirt.
We're gonna go try and go out there and do what we need to do so I can pay this rent.
And so is that the time that she moved out that you said that was it?
Yes.
That same night.
I'm going to ask you again, what is your defense for not paying your half of the security deposit?
Now the defense is just not for me paying it now. It's because the last conversation we had, she said that she already got somebody to move in to help her with whatever that she was doing. And that
this
was the
other
last
person
conversation
doesn't
that we
have
had.
anything to do with you.
And I have her signatures next to the monies that she does owe me.
Oh, may I see that, please?
Sure.
Yes.
Oh, so you signed the promissory note?
She promised that she was going to get paid and pay us back. She asked us to front her.
I also have pictures of work that I was doing, which she owes money for also. The patio, I have pictures. It wasn't in the best of shape. And
what was the agreement?
The agreement that she was going half with it.
She wanted it not
to fix up things
to
in
fix
the
up
house.
the house, yes.
She wanted.
Was that the
Your
agreement?
Honor, yes, I did make that agreement.
That's all I need to hear.
Thank
That's
you.
all I need to hear. You may have gotten over with them because they ignored the red flags. I'm not ignoring them. You're not getting over with me. You said in your answer you don't feel you owe for the security deposit because they basically made it very unpleasant for you to live there because they kept asking you to pay money that you owe.
Right.
Okay, just because someone is asking you to pay money that you owe, I'm sorry if that's unpleasant, but if you owe money, you owe the money. And if you didn't have the money, man, what I'm telling you is if you were going through a hard time and you didn't have the money, you should not have tried to pull the wool over their eyes because I believe you did that.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
I don't know who you're trying to pretend to be, but you gotta stop and just be yourself. All they wanna do is pay their rent on time, and you are stopping them and preventing them from doing that, and it's not fair. I have the promissory note, which you signed. That total is $1,316.29. In addition, I have the money for the patio and the work that you did in the home, which is a total of $237. So I'm gonna tell you something. You ignored a bunch of red flags, and that's what got you here today. The tacos, red flag number 1. When somebody does not have a security deposit to move into a place, that means they don't have any money. Okay, you don't have to have a crystal ball to foresee that she was gonna have a problem paying the rent.
Right.
All right? Judgment in this case for the plaintiffs, you owe them $1,553. Pay the ladies.
Plaintiff Jennifer Sewell says her former best friend moved out of their apartment 8 months early. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Jamie Usher says she feared for her life while living with Jennifer and doesn't owe any money because she was officially removed from the lease. She's accompanied by Drew Kurtz.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is a case of Sewell versus Usher.
Thank you, Juan. Jennifer Sewell?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Jamie Usher, for $1,933. You say she owes you for unpaid rent?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. Why don't we start from the beginning? You tell me what's going on here.
Okay. We've been friends for 10 years, and back in 2014, we got an apartment together, and she decided to move out and left me with everything.
How did the two of you know each other?
We've known each other since middle school, and in 2010, she helped me get a job where she was working at the lodge. Well, she ended up getting fired after a while because she was late for work. Well, of course, after you don't work for a while, you're gonna end up broke soon. So her and her then boyfriend decided to plan a robbery against me with one other person.
They planned to rob you?
Yeah, they planned to rob me because since she worked at the place I worked at, she knew how everything worked. She knew I handled all the money, she knew where it was kept, blase, blase. So they ended up planning everything out, and she was kind of the mastermind, if you will.
Is this true?
No, it was a rumor.
It was a rumor?
Yes.
What was this rumor? How was this supposedly going to go down?
It was her then boyfriend, and another girl. They all planned to come in before I closed one night, because I always took my deposits to the bank, and get the money. Her boyfriend was going to attack me, I guess, to get the money, and she told him, oh, don't do that, just pistol whip her. Keep in mind, I'm 8 months pregnant at the time, and this is supposed to be my best friend. So my manager
Who did you
found
hear
out
this from? I know this is all hearsay, but I'm just interested in the story. Who did
from
you
the
hear
girl
this
that was
from?
living with her, her friend that was involved with it.
Okay. And I know you're saying this is none of this ever. This is just a rumor, completely false allegation, and you don't know anything
Me and her
about
fell out,
this.
the girl that was staying with me.
And she came up with this elaborate story on her own?
Yes, she did.
So how did the two of you end up being roommates a couple of years later?
We stopped talking for about a year after that happened, and again, started talking again, I don't know why. In 2012, we ended up getting cool again.
So you decided to be friends with her again, because what's a little thing like a robbery, assault, conspiracy? Why let a little thing like that get in the way of your friendship, right?
We've fell out so many times, ended up back cool so many times. We've been through a lot together, you know? It's like my sister. It's like family. If you and your sister or somebody get into an argument, are you just gonna not talk to them at all anymore? Like,
no.
Well, you know, I've learned my lesson now. It took this right here.
Someone plans to rob, you're 8 months pregnant, and you truly believe that someone has planned a robbery and a plan to pistol whip you. They should be the last person on earth you would want to live with.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was Jamie part of a plot to rob her roommate? Or is Jennifer just creating conflict?
She was cheating. I was fear for my life. You know, she's bringing another man.
So now you're in fear for your life.
Yeah, she's bringing another man in the house 30, 45 minutes before her man comes home. I don't know, he could come home early. He can come home and snap and kill her.
And later, a profile pulls a proposal.
I gave her a wink, so she went back. So we talked about the past and all. We want to get married again.
I had to get to know somebody before I get married. I ain't just jumping up and marrying nobody.
Plaintiff Jennifer Sewell says her former best friend isn't telling the truth about the broken lease. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Jamie Usher says she doesn't owe anything because her former roommate had boyfriend problems and took it out on her.
So you were only there for 2 months?
Yes, ma'am.
And you signed a 1-year lease, right?
Yes,
May I see the
ma'am.
lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you leave early?
I was going back and forth with my boyfriend. He lives in Marietta, Georgia. I was still paying my rent every month. She was getting on to me. One time she thought I was gonna be late. I wasn't, I paid it. She was threatening me, telling me she was gonna put me out. One day she came to me, she said after her baby daddy left her with the rent, she was cheating. I was fear for my life. You know, she's bringing another man.
So now you're in fear for your life.
Yeah, she's bringing another man in the house 30, 45 minutes before her man comes home. I don't know, he could come home early. He can come home and snap and kill her.
I understand you guys had some disputes about who was paying the rent on time.
Where she works at, he was staying at.
The lodge?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up, sir. What are you saying you are a witness to? You heard for yourself.
I'm a witness from day one, from everything. I'm standing over the counter and handing her the money receipt, money order for her and my rent. And she was like, Drew, what's going on? Da-da-da-da. Well, I'm just tired of this.
She works at the lodge, so you're paying your rent to her.
Yeah. Right.
While
And
she's
giving
on the
her
phone
my money order.
with her, and so you're giving her a money order as well. Got it. All right, and you hear the plaintiff say to the
Clear as a
defendant.
bell. Well, we could just break the lease, because I'm tired of this.
And so did you give her permission to leave and break the lease?
I did not. That's why I didn't sign the paper when she went up to take her name off.
Do you still live in this apartment?
Yes, I do.
Who lives with you now?
Just me and my kids.
Okay, so you're the only one paying rent?
That's correct.
And have you tried to get anyone else to move into the apartment and take her place since she's moved out?
I've asked some people, but after dealing with all this, I don't even want to remain anymore.
That's kind of a problem for you. Here's the issue for you. You broke the lease, and I don't credit your testimony when you say that you were so afraid for your life. You had to get out of there after a couple of months. It sounds like you were staying a lot with your boyfriend, and you probably rather live with him. And just because you fall out with somebody, you may not like them anymore, you're still legally obligated when you sign a 1-year lease. However, you say, and this document is clear, because this document states that whatever is agreed to in this document is now incorporated into this lease. And actually, if there's any inconsistency between this document and this lease, what's written in this document will prevail. The issue that you have is this document states she is completely released from the remainder of the lease. It also states that she is no longer responsible for the remainder of the lease. She signs it, and your issue is the landlord agreed to this and signed it. Nowhere in this document does it state that your signature is required. So I have no choice. This is your evidence. I have no choice in this case. Judgment's for the defendant.
Plaintiff Luther Hester says he immediately fell in love with Vicky, and when he gave her a ring, he believed they were engaged. He's suing for the cost of an engagement ring. Defendant Vicky Moore says she liked Luther but was not in love with him and wants to keep the ring because it was a gift. She's countersuing for malicious prosecution.
Luther Hester.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant Vicky Moore?
Yes.
For $2,000 for the return of an engagement ring you say you purchased for her?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're countersuing, ma'am, for $5,000 for malicious prosecution?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with you, sir. Tell me what's going on. How did you meet the defendant?
In January of 2015, I on the internet, right, called blackpeoplemeet.com. So I was looking for...
That's an online dating site?
Yeah, online dating thing. Well, I've been on like maybe a couple months. I was looking for a wife, like I'm reading profiles. So I ran across Miss Vicky Moore's profile, so it sounded good to me. So
what sounded good to you about her profile?
Well, the way she just put it out there, you know, herself, you know, what she was, what she wanted, what about, and all that. Then I gave her a wink, so she winked back. So then I sent her my phone number. So after that, she called me.
Because that's how the website works. You wink at someone, and you know they're interested if they wink back at you.
Yes, ma'am.
And if they don't wink, you just keep scrolling.
Yes.
Okay, keep going, okay.
So we talked about the past and all, about how we've been married and, you know, got a divorce, and then we want to get married again. That was in January.
So when he winked at you in January, you then saw his profile, did you tell him that you were on Black People Meet to meet a potential husband?
I date to meet a husband. I do desire to get married. But I had to get to know somebody before I get married. I ain't just jumping up and marrying nobody.
Coming up on Judge Faith, a phone call ends their online romance.
That evening I called her. She really, you know, picked up the phone. It would sound like she was having sex. So
you thought you caught her cheating when you called her?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, she was having sex right out of her mouth. I know how sex sounds, and that way she was sounding.
Plaintiff Luther Hester says he bought the ring because he believed they were engaged. He's suing for the cost of an engagement ring. Defendant Vicky Moore says the ring was a gift. She's countersuing for malicious prosecution.
March the 9th was our first date.
And how did that happen?
He caught the train to my house. It was a good first date. I mean,
leading up to that, you had several phone conversations,
we
right?
had a lot of phone
conversations. And you would talk for hours at a time?
Every day since February the 23rd.
Oh, every day, okay.
Every day.
And what did you do the first day together?
We went to Best Buy. He bought me a Samsung tablet. Then we went and got my car washed. We went to lunch. Then we went shopping. I went and bought me some suits. I bought my own suits. And then we was in the mall, and then we went to the jewelry store. And that's when he bought the ring.
Oh, so you bought the ring the first day you met?
Yeah, that's when he bought the ring, the first day.
So what was going on that day, sir? You were taking her shopping, you were buying her things. It was seems like you were having a good day.
We went to ate first, and then, like she said, we went shopping. She bought her clothes, and then I bought her that, went to Best Buy, bought her the iPad. That was a birthday gift. That was a gift because I had told her back that I'll give her a birthday gift. So then we were leaving out the mall. So the jewelry store.
Let me ask you something, because now that I know that you purchased this ring the first day the two of you met, you had been talking to her every day on the phone. When you showed up at that point, were you in love with her?
Yes.
You were. And did you tell her that?
Yes.
And did you feel the same way about him?
No.
Okay. So what? What's your plan?
My plan then after we went to the mall, and before we left, it was a jewelry store there. So we both went into the jewelry store so we could get our ring size. You know,
okay,
but
tell me, hold on a second. So you're just walking by a jewelry store? There was no plan to go?
That had came up a while when we be talking on the phone every day that we're going to get married again and we got to get engaged and, you know, get married and all. So that day, we went to get our ring size. I mean, what we going to get our ring size for, you know? So to get married and engaged. So I went, like you said, into the store, and then the lady brought me a ring like $10,000. I said, no, ain't no way I pay no $10,000 for no ring. So then she came and got another ring. It was $6,000. No, that was still too much. I couldn't do that either. So then she came back with another engagement ring for like $2,800, and she put it on her finger. Miss Moore put it on her finger like she didn't even want to take it off. I love this ring, I love this ring. I said, okay, we get married, so you want the ring, I'll get you the ring. So she said, yeah, I love it. So I talked the lady down to $2,000. It was $2,800, talked her to $2,000. And then she said, okay. So then when I tried to purchase it with my credit card, so it didn't go through. And then I passed it back through again. We did it for $500 for a down payment. And then she's supposed to pick it up Monday because they decided her finger. So she came by my place that Sunday, and I gave her $1,100 bill to go to pick up the ring.
And she
so she picked up the ring that Monday. Then she texted me a picture of her ring and all, happy.
So, okay. Did you propose to her?
Every time I get back, I tell her I gotta take the ring off and get on my knee. She'll holler, no, 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 no. We ain't never time, it ain't time, it ain't that time. So it looked like to me, it was I'd ask her there at the service time to take off her ring so I could get on my knee, propose to her. No, 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 no. Every time, no, 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 no. And left like that.
So that's why you didn't do the official proposal,
Right,
you're saying.
yes,
okay,
ma'am.
and what's your version of this? How did the two of you end up in the jewelry store and what happened?
We walked into the jewelry store. I walked around the store, I was looked at some rings, and she bought out a ring, it was $10,000. And I was like, ooh, I got good. I mean, I was just looking. The lady went in the back and came out with this ring. And she looked at it and she said it was $6,000. She said, but it's on sale for $2,800. And I said, oh, okay.
So why didn't you buy it? Why is he buying it?
He looked at the ring, he said, do you want it? I said, no, I'm not finna get no ring today because I wasn't even thinking. So he turned around, he said, do you want it? And I looked at him, I'm like, no, I don't think I'm not gonna get it. Then he said, do you want it? And I said, are you gonna buy it? Because he kept asking me. And he said, he turned around to the lady, he said, what if I give you $2,000 for it?
What do you think he's buying you a $2,000 ring for?
You know, I think that he liked me. He was buying me gifts. Part of my profile says I'm looking for somebody who's generous, who shares. I thought that he was trying to show me that part of it. It's not unusual. Your Honor, look at you. You date, I don't know if you date, if you're married, but don't you get gifts? Don't men give you gifts? I get flowers, I get gifts. This is a gift, this is a gift. I mean, so when he bought the ring, I was just thinking he was buying me a gift.
Listen. People buy each other gifts all the time in relationships, but let's think about this for a second. This is the first time the two of you are meeting. This is a ring, and it's a $2,000 ring that he's buying you. You have to know something's up. Your day of shopping at Best Buy.
I think he had to ask me, and I would have said no.
Your day of shopping at Best Buy and going to lunch and all these other things, now it's ended, you two at a jewelry store, he's buying you a $2,000 ring. What do you think is going on? The two of you are not dating anymore, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so how did this end?
We were in like on April 2015. I called her that morning. I said, hello, like we always talk. So that evening I called her. Soon as she, pick up the phone, it would sound like she was having sex. So after that, then that lasted about a minute. Then she said that her mama called her. She got to hang up the phone real quick, and that was it. She didn't call me back.
So you thought you called her cheating when you called her?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, she was having sex right out of her mouth. I know how sex sounds, and that way she was sounding. Moaning and groaning. We know how sex sounds, and that way when I called her, when she picked up the phone, it was going on like that.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
So normally here's the law on this, normally when you give gifts to someone, because I think it was a gift, okay? I think you gave it to her as a gift. No. And under the law, when you give a gift to someone, you can't, especially because I have people who come in here all the time and they form relationships and they've given people things and they say, oh, it was a loan, I want this back. When it was a gift and they're just angry and upset because the relationship didn't work out. The exception to that rule under the law is with engagement rings. If someone gives you a ring in contemplation of marriage and the marriage doesn't actually take place, then legally you have to return the ring. And so in determining if something was given in contemplation of marriage, I have to look at his intent when he bought the ring. And based on the testimony today, I actually think, as crazy as some people may think it is, when you meet someone on the first date, the two of you have been talking every day, I'm not going to hold it against him that he acted too quickly, but I think that he purchased the ring because he thought he was going to marry you. And I actually believe him when he said that he tried to propose to you several times and you would not accept his proposal. But I actually credit his testimony. I think that he bought you this ring because he wanted to marry you. What is your counterclaim about for malicious prosecution, $5,000?
Well, it doesn't work now since you think that he bought the ring for marriage.
So your counterclaim for malicious prosecution is dismissed. You want to keep the ring? If you want to keep it, that's fine, but then you have to pay him the $2,000 he paid for the ring. It's up to you. Okay, I'm going to order you to pay $2,000 to the plaintiff, the value of the ring. Sir, do you know who Kanye West is? You know who Kanye West is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you know who Kanye West is? All right, I'm just gonna give you some advice going forward when you're on these sites. Find someone who loves you like Kanye loves Kanye. Yeah. And then you're gonna be okay. $2,000, judgment for complaining.
Thank you, Ron. I'm still looking for love. I will keep looking till I can find love.
Luther, take this ring. I don't want this ring. He can really keep this. I don't even want it. And the only reason why is because he was wrong. He lied about an engagement. Ain't nobody gonna marry this fool on the first date.